audience, he is the beast from Hollywood East, Michael the Hammer Mulligan.
Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Fireside with Michael the Hammer Mulligan. Happy holidays. Holiday season is upon us. You know, lots of family going to be around. Go take in a fight. You know, there's a lot of venues around here. There's a lot of fights coming up. For instance, November 19th at the Jungleplex in Plymouth, Massachusetts, CFX is holding an event where there's going to be a ton of local talent. I think they're on for like 22 fights that night. You can go to their website, I think it's cfx.com, to find out more information about the fights. I know that our school, the school that I attend and my son attends, Cape Cod Fighting Alliance, has 4 or 5 fighters on for that night. I know that South Shore Sport Fighting, Bill Mahoney, who you probably saw in the previous episode if I put these episodes in the right order, Bill Mahoney is actually himself one of the instructors fighting on that card, and it's going to be an entertaining night. So if you've never seen an actual mixed martial arts event before, you should really attend that one or another one in the area, just so you get a feel for why I have this passion for this sport and why I'm here. It's really important to back your local fighters. You know, there's a ton of them around here. They're on the fire department, they're on the police force, they're on, you know, everybody from every walk of life is in this sport right now and training. You know, just on the news today, the day that I'm doing the show, they announced that that it's switched over now. It's going to be Fox instead of Spike. So that's a huge venue, Fox TV. You know, we're competing with football. You know, the sport is really growing and it's going to get a lot bigger. You know, I imagine eventually in the future it's going to come to you know, being the Olympic sport as well. So I hope to see that in the future. And it is a sport and it's fun to watch. You know, it really gets your families and your people involved. You know, you get a guy from the prison or something that works over at the prison, one of the guards fighting in a Plymouth event. You know, you get him at the Jungleplex or you get him at Memorial Hall. The turnout is just amazing. You know, the local fighter fights around here, and just the amazing turnout, the numbers of people that show up are huge. It's a beautiful thing to see. So if you get a chance, check out that show on November 19th at the Jungleplex, or check out another show, but do yourself a favor, please go see one of these events. They're beautiful. They're great to bring your kids. You know, it is family friendly. It's a fun thing to do. Another thing that I got going on is I have a website being put together right now. It should be up within the next 30 days. Hopefully by the time this is out, it'll be close. This views. It's www.firesidewiththehammer.com. It's meant to support this show. It's meant to, if you missed this show, if you want to comment on the shows, you'll be able to go on to that website, www.firesidewiththehammer.com, and actually comment on the shows, you know, comment on the people, my guests on the shows. Yeah, it's going to be kind of fun. There's going to be a calendar where you're actually going to be able to click onto the calendar, and you're going to be able to look and see what events are coming up in the future. So that's kind of cool. That way you can find an event when you need to. Another thing on there is there's going to be a fighters page where we're actually going to have, you know, a lot of people just put up every fighter. What I'm doing is, bottom line is, if it's a fighter, a promoter, anybody that's been on this show, that's who's going to go on the page. We're going to put that fighter up on the page, and you'll be able to, you know, see them and get a couple stats on them and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's going to be a fun site. It's basically to support this show and to support MMA in general, you know. Fighters, promoters, doctors, anybody in the sport of MMA, again, I tell you that this is an open show. I know we do a lot of CCFA fighters, a lot of people, but now we're starting to get other groups in. You know, of course, the people that are closest to me that I see all the time are the people that are going to be on this show first, because they're easy to get, and I know them, and it's a little bit more comfortable. You know, we're breaking the ice here. Again, we did, Bill Mahoney was on here, and we had Steve Reeder on the other night, and he's a referee. So we're breaking in. We've got promoters. We've got a lot of different people coming in. So if you're a fighter, you got an event coming up, preferably hit me a month or two before, and you'll be able to get me at that website, www.firesidewiththehammer.com, or you can find me on Facebook. Just put in Michael Mulligan and you'll find me. And yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to get you in here, talk about, if you got, I talked to the guy from Nexus MMA, I talked to the guy from the Pound. These guys are going to come in and do interviews with me, and they're going to promote their school. And this isn't about one school. This is about promoting the sport of mixed martial arts. There's a lot of martial artists out there, and we want to get this, off the ground in the local area. We want to get you people behind your fighters in the sport. And that's it. Next coming up is my favorite fighter in the whole wide world. His name is Shane the Future Mulligan. He's my guest on Fireside today. I hope you enjoy it. Folks, Michael the Hammer Mulligan here. Today we got Shane the Future Mulligan. What's up, Shane?
What's up, dude?
How you doing?
Fabulous.
Good. All right, so Shane's kind of why I'm doing this show, kind of why I do anything with mixed martial arts, is because he started before I did. And as I watched him train, I kind of got excited about it, and they talked me into jumping in and fighting and doing all that stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit today with Shane about his training and what he does to, become that kind of whole fighter that you need to be in today's sport. So Shane, give me a little bit about your experience. What are the different things that you do? Let's start with BJJ.
Well, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I train a couple days a week, mostly Tuesdays and Thursdays around 5. There's a kids class, and I help teach there, and I teach the kids like basic stuff, takedowns and stuff from wrestling. And yeah, I get a lot of one-on-one time with Mike there. So
Mike who?
Gresh, Loco Lobo.
Yeah. Who else do you learn from?
Dave Cody.
Dave Cody.
He's a brown belt.
Cool.
Yep.
And Banana?
Banana. Yep. I go there and haven't been there recently, but usually Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays he has classes. And Wednesdays I have no-gi jiu-jitsu around 7 o'clock.
Nice. So Banana is Giuliano Coutinho, otherwise known as Banana. He is a black belt under Daniel Gracie. He's been on the show before, and him and Mike gave Shaney has his blue belt under Giuliano and Mike Gresh. So what was it like getting your blue belt?
Oh, it was awesome. Good experience. I didn't really know it was going to happen, but they all said I deserved it. I went to a tournament, and
which one?
I went to Naga, and basically a beginner, and I just went into the intermediate division. I did pretty good in there. I won gi, and I came in second in no gi, and then they bumped me up to expert because the kid didn't have a match, so I came in second there too. So they figured I was doing good enough to get my blue belt.
Nice, nice. It's time. Everything's about time in the sport, It's very hard for a kid to be patient. Shane's actually really good about that. It's very hard for me to be patient. I'm not patient, but with any of these sports, it's just the more work and time you put in. What do you get?
What you put in?
There you go, baby. Now tell me more. So you did Naga. That was when you got your blue belt. That was how long ago?
A couple months ago.
I think it was June. Right?
Yep. I had Napaga in June too. The first Napaga.
Exactly. So you went there. You did youth at Naga. You did youth gi, youth no gi, intermediate, and then expert. So you told us about that. Then you got your blue belt. Now tell me about the one you had. Since then, you got your blue belt after that. So now yesterday you went and you won
expert
the belt.
division. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. Good
So
accomplishment.
yeah, so you did. You wrestled. I mean, you fought in the gi and the no gi expert. His opponent was a nice kid. It wasn't the level that you'd expect, but Shaney was very. What's the word I'm looking for? respectful of the opponent, and he took his time with him, and he actually helped him while they were rolling. He was a nice kid that he fought, but it wasn't. I think next time we're just gonna stick him right into the adult and go that way. Tell me about Napaga. Tell me about your first experience at Napaga.
My first Napaga, that was fun. It was a lot different than Naga, where you can't strike, it's just grappling, and I don't know, it was different. I loved it. I did good in my division, so there wasn't that many people the first time, so they bumped me up to adult, and I ended up coming in second place. I lost to Seth Silva. He's an animal.
He's owner of Crush MMA, or Silverback MMA, and he's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, a Muay Thai teacher, and was a mixed martial arts fighter. And I think, would he have a head injury?
Yeah. He
had a head injury, so he can't fight in the cage anymore. So he does this because there's no striking to the head. So it worked out good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, then I moved to the gi division after that, and I ended up getting another gold. So I had 2 golds and a silver there, and kept training a while. Was hoping for a Muay Thai smoker. That didn't end up happening, but fortunately, the next Napaga was followed right up by that. So I won my division in the youth, bumped me up again to adult, ended up coming in first place there, and then went against a young kid who didn't have a match. Yeah, helped him out rolling, was trying to be nice and respectful. He's a good kid. He was actually pretty good for his age.
He goes to the pound too, right?
Yeah, the pound.
He did good too. We just went to the other Naga yesterday, and he actually won a couple.
I think 3 or 2 silvers and a first place.
And a sword, yeah, he won a sword for first place too, so that was good.
Awesome.
Good props to him, yeah. Nice. Yeah. It's a great sport. It's nice because no matter where you go, you're meeting new people and you're having fun with it. It's not a bully sport, it's not anything like that. I see Shane yesterday was out on the mat talking to everybody basically. Mm-hmm. You know, that was a fun time. So how did you train for Napaga? Tell me what's different between Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Napaga.
I don't know. Well, Napaga, once you get to the ground, it's pretty much strictly all jiu-jitsu. The only problem is the gloves. If you get caught in an armbar, then they have your gloves, and it's harder to get out of that. But
so what did you do for striking? What do you do for striking then for the stand-up part?
A lot of teeps. I like to stay long because I used to, like to use my length. But
so is that Muay Thai?
Muay Thai, yeah.
Right. Right. So how do you get to score points in Napaga?
Well, it's all like body shots. You can punch to the body, front kick to the body, teep. You can roundhouse to the body, and yeah, you can actually kick to the legs too. But those don't count as points, but they do some damage.
Well, that's the thing. It just takes your steam out of the person. That's, you know, you got somebody rushing in on you and coming. A lot of these fighters, even in the cage, even in the octagon, they don't have the skill that, you know, somebody that trains all the time has. So they'll use, you know, brute strength and speed, and they'll try and come at you hard and fast. And somebody like Shaney that just works on their legs and kicks their legs, it really takes the steam out of them, so it slows them right down.
It's nice to be well-rounded too when you're there. Because last Napaga I went, I don't know, each match was kind of different. Like one match, I'd be against a lanky kid, like Nick Argentinas.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. He was good. He's one of our teammates. He's lanky. He's a lanky kid. So, I don't know, I'd strike with him, then I'd take him down, let him up, because I know his ground game's dangerous. He got a couple kids in triangles there. He was doing awesome. And, yeah, I don't know, it's like, say if someone just has a strict stand-up game, they're gonna sprint at you and try to hit you, so you take them down and you wrestle with them the whole time, or try to finish the fight.
Yep. So your arts, the things that you use are the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu,
Muay Thai,
the Muay Thai, and wrestling. So now what happens? Now, so let's do a little math here. Okay, so you did 2 Naga events over the summer, 2 Napaga events. And did you, what was it, Bay State wrestling?
I had Bay State swords, before summer.
Okay, yeah, so Bay State's 2. So out of all that, you probably got 10 medals and a couple of swords and a belt. You got the belt for the expert youth division at Naga, yeah? Mm-hmm. Awesome, good job, man.
Thanks, Doug.
Nice job. How do you feel? All right, so you got a ton of your friends are out there on the football field. How do you feel about that? Does that bug you that they're playing or not?
A little bit, you know. I don't know. Everyone who always like leaves football says that they miss it, but I don't know. When you're dedicated to a sport and you like it that much, and I don't know, it doesn't really get to me that much.
Good.
I mean, sometimes it stinks when I have nothing to do on a Friday night and I want to hang out with friends, but all of them are at the football game. But whatever. I have my Xbox.
And we went to the games too. We actually went to a game. I held the sticks, and he went and Plymouth South hadn't won any games at that point, but because we showed up, Plymouth South won, so it was actually our fault. All right, so what happens now? Now, you're all done pretty much with training for MMA for the season. Now wrestling starts.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen there? What do you got going?
Well, starting this week or next week, a couple days a week, I'm going to be going up to Lee Bean School. What's he called? The Brick Road?
Brick Road, yeah, Brick Road Wrestling, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's
in
Lakeville.
Lakeville,
Yep.
Mass. It's a new school, yeah.
Yep. And, yeah, just start lifting again, put some more muscle on. And then by wrestling season, around Thanksgiving, actually, a couple weeks after, or a week after, start cutting weight and then just wrestling.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who's your captain this year?
Me, Kevin Fournier, Colin Hardy, Devin Godino, Chris Cummings, and Todd Bazarowski.
Nice, nice. You got a great team at South. Unfortunately, they lost their coach. He went over to Wareham to be the AD. Great guy. I wish he never left. There's a new coach coming in. We don't know who he is yet. We're dying to find out who he is. We all got our hopes and who we think it should be and everything, but we'll find out. You know, that decision isn't ours, so
Yep.
we'll all find out who that's going to be. Tell me about the weight. Now, you started off, last year you wrestled at what weight?
171.
And how much did you actually weigh when you were at that weight?
Around 163, 164.
Yeah, so Shane was basically at the bottom of the food chain when it came up to, at his weight, he wasn't the biggest kid. He was probably the smallest kid at his weight. So what we did is we sent him in with Mark Featherstone. Mark was a trainer that was also on the show. And tell him what Mark did for you.
Mark pretty much put as much weight as I wanted on. He wow, he works you hard. I don't know, you go to the gym and he puts so much weight on you that your muscles start to like tell themselves that they need to get bigger in order to push that weight up. So I don't know, I'd have to push myself every time I lifted weights. I'd have to do more weight than my muscles could take for around 6 reps, and eventually got a lot bigger.
So they changed the weights, the weight limits or whatever for wrestling this year. So his weight class is now 182. He was gonna be at, I think, 189 or something. So what had to happen was we had to get him up to 189 pounds so that he could strip down carefully over time to get to the 182 mark. Since he's been training over the summer. So Mark did this at the beginning of the summer. Shane got to the 189, and Mark is incredible. He did everything by the book. He did it the way that, you know, he laid out a plan for Shaney to follow. Shane followed it, laid out a food schedule for him to follow. Shane's a very dedicated kid. You know, when he knows when there's a goal, he goes for the goal. He does what he's supposed to do most of the time. And so anyways, Mark put the weight on, so we got him to 189. The issue that Mark said in the beginning was that Shane trains like a madman when he's at mixed martial arts. So when he's training at CCFA, he's always working full tilt, 2-3 classes a night, a couple times a week, and then does his regular classes. Now he goes in and he trains other people on wrestling and takedowns on Saturdays too. So Shane's always moving, so it's hard to keep weight on him. So he's already down to the 182 and 183 that he needs to be at for wrestling, but it isn't time yet. So he's going to go back and he's going to start banging out the weights again, and do the wrestling camps and stuff. What else? That's it. What's your goal with all this? What is your goal with the mixed martial arts? What do you want? Where do you want to end up being?
I like to win fights.
That's a good thing. It's better than losing.
I just, I don't know. I guess I'd like to be ahead of everyone. Most people start like a couple years or a year before they're actually going to fight, but if you start like at a young age like me, I started when I was 11, and now I'm 16, so I'll have more tools than most people and be able to.
Yeah, it's funny. I see people sometimes they'll go into the Cape Cod Fighting Alliance and there'll be older people and you know 30s whatever 28 and Mike will say go roll with Shaney or go spar with Shaney and they'll be like, oh, he's young, I don't want to hurt him. And Mike will say, oh, that's all right, take it easy on him. And Shaney has a lot of skills. He's been at it for a long time. How's your schoolwork?
Fabulous.
Fabulous?
Yeah.
Straight A's?
Ooh. I don't know about that.
Close enough. You're doing great. Everything's good. Folks, thank you for coming to another Fireside Chat with Michael the Hammer Mulligan and Shaney the Future Mulligan. Thanks for coming, Shay.
Thanks, dude.